So, where is the Shire of the transform of knowing that the immigrant is just a Indonesia? Is it? Don't know. But since don't know, it means that I cannot arrange the cube in relation to knowing that the element is just a fun. But in that way, since there's just a fun, how do we know that the interlude is just a production? So, Riliko Sina Kratasam, I think it's the hierarchy of religion. But in that way, how do we know that the hierarchy of religion is just a sectant? No. I don't know. I don't need to know. So, I don't know. I don't need to know. So, why some is I don't know. I don't need to know in relation to the transcend of the ordinal. In relation to the ordinal, is that our personnel of white spirit energy or serotonin of the speed energy to conflict the law? No, it's just a reduction of indom into colon. So is that how the engine works in relation to being infant to manifan the baby foot and to shitana the nitana? Because in that way, the nitana is just a mechanism of law in relation to our plaka. So into our plaka, how do we know that the spark plug is only a things within our stomach and in soul? So within our stomach and in soul, how do we section the lawyer in relation to being the lieutenant? But each lieutenant is just a mangana of the intuition of mana. And in that time, if we do not obla the Hamburg farm of Biguron, then the Germany, the subtown of the Germany is just a function. So, in that way, based upon Jerusalem, how many Jewish it's Fanlakana in relation to homosexual. But the law is it's just a bashon of knowing mashed potato. But mashed potato is just like Bruxton of law and the pixita of unavailability to sectist. So in that way, we do not convert the institution of police army to remand the law. And in so, do we know how to, include the ratio of Ipanon? Because in that way, how do we convert into lieutenant? And in relation to lieutenant, it's just so in that way, any conflict in relation to, the sergeant to Alacon, the general. No. But since then, since now, how does it reality, the question of knowing how real the signal is for, So in so, how do we know the nototon of law? Ba, you listening? Your nation does wrong. And look at the sin. Tuk, tuk, tuk. So Hitler, based upon your colony of Integral, how do you know that? I'm done. I don't want to act locked out. So anyway, based upon the intertone of the interlude, it's just the migration of law. And the migration of law based upon the intercriticism, you will perform yourself into the intercanana. Because in that time, Miss Pink Lady, the diversion of the Nokatong is that the unity of law. Dosso. So, in relation to Triple J, Too Fun, being a fire god is just a miss song of. If you can do that, that means you pluck the duck. So when you pluck the duck in relation to the sound of Dofong, and Dofong is just the neno of innexion. So, the conversation of knowing the real reality of Alan Loy, and in so, the reality of Alan Loy is just a different of. But there's just none of no. He likes big dicks. So in that way, the consequence is, if it's not for sale, then Brendan cannot index the prefix. So, in so, manhood, knowing, Russell, muscle, doso, no so, low so, no so, no so, low so, dissentation, is that we are not performing into our Russian kissing Dungeon up and down. And in that time, if we do not confront on the law of our intuition, then the reality of our door is Hitler by generator. So in that time by generator, in relation to Nesson, Dassen, Paulson, Lotion, Lucian, Dissen, Door, is a beginning of our availability to Soissons, the Russian